The love that is moving towards you right now is not the kind that simply adds itself to your existing life. It is not coming to slot neatly into the spaces you have already carved out to sit politely inside the version of your world that you have built so far. What is approaching you, and it is approaching with a momentum that the energy today makes impossible to deny, is the kind of love that arrives and quietly, completely changes the coordinates of everything. That word in the title is intentional. Move, or let's say relocate. Because what is coming is not just emotional, it is directional. It will move you, literally, spiritually, geographically, in some cases, but most fundamentally in terms of who you understand yourself to be and what you now believe you are worthy of receiving. The person attached to this energy is not a chapter in your old story. They are the opening line of an entirely new one. Before we go anywhere else today, I need you to hold that. The love heading towards you carries with it an upgrade. Not because you were lacking before, you were never lacking, but because this connection is calibrated to the fullest version of you, and meeting it will draw that version out completely. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Divine Love Readings. This is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what does not. If this message found you today, trust that it found you for a reason. Now, let's get right into it. There is a specific quality to the energy of the love coming towards you, and it is unlike what most people have been conditioned to expect. The world tends to present love as something that shows up with noise, grand declarations, urgent intensity, the kind of feeling that announces itself loudly. What is moving toward you is different in its texture. It is steady in a way that is almost disorienting at first, because you may not have encountered steadiness that feels this alive before. It does not waver based on your moods. It does not contract when you need space. It does not require you to perform a particular version of yourself in order to stay warm and present. The person attached to this energy has done internal work through their own seasons of loss and rebuilding that has taught them how to love without making their love into a leash. They bring their full presence without bringing their anxiety. What that will feel like when it arrives is almost suspicious at first. You will look for the catch. You will wait for the moment when the warmth reveals itself as strategy. And it will not come because there is no agenda. There is only someone who has arrived at a point in their own life where they are ready to love in a way that is genuinely free. And they are arriving at that point exactly as you arrive at yours. This is not a coincidence, it is alignment. For some of you receiving this, there will be a physical relocation attached to this connection. A new city, a new country, a new home that you build together in a place neither of you fully anticipated. The person coming toward you carries a different longitude than the one you currently inhabit. Not because distance is the point, but because the life you build together will have its own geography, its own address that belongs specifically to the two of you. For others, the relocation is internal, but no less real. You will find yourself, once this connection deepens, inhabiting a different emotional country. The place you currently live inside yourself, which may carry the residue of past disappointments, the bracing vigilance of someone who has learned to expect less in order to be hurt less. That is not the place you will be living in 12 months from now. This love will move you out of the defended version of yourself and into a spaciousness you may have stopped believing was accessible to you. Both kinds of relocation are valid. Both are real, and both are already in motion, even if the most visible evidence has not yet appeared on the surface of your life. The person attached to this energy is not new to depth. They have loved before. They have been hurt before, not in a way that hardened them permanently, but in a way that educated them. Every prior relationship, every season of heartache, every moment of standing in a connection that looked right from the outside and felt hollow from the inside. All of it was building toward the version of them that now walks in your direction. They carry a quality of attention that is rare. When they are with you, they are fully present, not performing presence, actually there. The way they look at you holds an interest that rises from genuine fascination rather than strategy. They find you interesting in the specific, unhurried way. That means they intend to keep discovering new layers of you for a very long time. What they are carrying toward you at its core is an offer of partnership in the fullest sense, not caretaking, not a dynamic where one person holds the sky up so the other can breathe. A lateral, chosen, grown connection between two people who are whole on their own and extraordinary together. When you are truly seen by someone, when someone encounters the specific constellation of who you are and responds with full recognition, something shifts in how you carry yourself through the rest of your life. You stop spending energy managing the gap between who you actually are and who you feel safe enough to show. That energy gets redirected into your work, into your creativity, into the dreams you have been tending carefully but quietly. The uplift this love brings is not dependent on the other person doing anything specific. It arises naturally from the fact of being genuinely met. And your person is someone who meets people, not in the performance of it, but in the actual practice of showing up with their full perception trained on whoever is in front of them. You will create things in the season this love opens. You will build things. You will pursue what you have been orbiting for longer than you want to admit. Not because they pushed you, but because being loved well by someone who believes in the specificity of who you are makes the pursuit of your own potential feel less like a risk and more like a natural continuation of the life you are already living. There is a clearing that has been happening in your life. It may not have announced itself as a clearing. It may have presented as confusion, loss, or the quiet end of things that once held a central place in your world. Relationships that dissolved, versions of yourself that you wore for years and then one day found you could not put back on. That clearing was not random, it was preparation. The love heading toward you cannot share space with everything that was. Not because the past was wrong, most of it was exactly what it needed to be at the time, but because what is coming requires room. It requires a version of you that has some openness in it, some willingness to be surprised by the direction your life takes when you stop trying to architect every outcome. Your person is also in a clearing of their own. You are both arriving at each other lighter than you were before. And the meeting of two people who have both done that kind of clearing carries a recognition that goes beyond the surface level. When you encounter this person, or when the encounter deepens, you will feel a quality of familiarity that your rational mind cannot account for. Trust that feeling. It is not nostalgia, it is resonance. There is a fear in you around this, not a paralyzing fear. You have moved well beyond the kind that stops movement entirely, but a quiet, watchful fear that tends to become most active precisely when something that actually matters gets close. It sounds like, what if I am reading the signals wrong? What if I open fully and discover once again that what I was offered was not what was delivered? That fear was built from real experience. It was the intelligent response of someone who paid attention. But here is what the energy today is asking you to consider. The fear was protective in the seasons it was born in. In this new season, it is delaying you. There is a difference between discernment, the clear eyed ability to read a person accurately, which you have, and the reflexive contraction that happens when love gets close because love has cost you something before. Your person is not the people from your past. The invitation this reading carries is to let your discernment be active and your fear be quiet. Assess this person with your full clarity, and then, when that clarity confirms what the energy today is pointing at, move toward them with the same full-hearted willingness they are moving toward you. There is a message that sits in the energy surrounding your person, something they carry toward you but have not yet had the right moment to say in exactly the right way. What they need you to know is that they chose this not passively, not because you were the available option or the easiest path forward. They chose the direction of you deliberately with a full understanding of what it means to choose it. That choice was confirmed repeatedly in quieter moments when no one was watching. They also need you to know that they are not coming to you as someone who needs to be completed. They are arriving as someone whole, choosing to combine their wholeness with yours and create something that could not exist with either person alone. And finally, this one carries the most weight. They need you to know that what they see in you is not a projection. The qualities they admire in you are the ones you actually possess. The potential they believe in is the potential you actually carry. They are not in love with a version of you that you have to maintain through performance. They are in love with who you are when no one is asking anything of you. Receive that. It matters. The love coming towards you carries the quality that people who have experienced a twin flame connection describe as recognition without history. You will meet this person and feel in a way that the rational mind finds genuinely difficult to account for, that you already know them, not from this life necessarily, from something older and more essential. The recognition will be cellular rather than cognitive. Your body will register it before your mind does. That quality of recognition does not make the connection easy. Your person will reflect things back to you, not deliberately, but simply by being who they are, that have been waiting to be seen in you for a very long time. Some of those reflections will be beautiful, some will be uncomfortable. All of them will be necessary. The twin flame dynamic, at its most genuine, is not about finding the person who completes you. It is about finding the person whose presence accelerates your becoming. What this love is building is not dependency, it is mutual, parallel, fiercely individual becoming, in the company of someone whose trajectory mirrors yours in a way that is both astonishing and completely recognizable. The energy today confirms that this is what is approaching you, the genuine article arriving in its proper time. The timing of what is coming is not arbitrary. It reflects the fact that both you and the person coming towards you needed to arrive at this moment carrying exactly what you now carry. And that required the full length of the journey that brought you here. A version of this meeting that happened earlier would have met different versions of you both. And what would have been created from that meeting would have been a lesser thing. You are arriving at each other at the right time. The specific ways that life shaped you, the parts you might wish looked different, the chapters that seem like evidence of failure rather than formation. Those are the exact parts that make you comprehensible to your person. They have walked adjacent paths. They recognize the landscape. The last thing the energy today wants to leave with you is both simple and complete. You have been ready for longer than you have given yourself credit for. The readiness was there before the clarity arrived. The worthiness was there before the evidence came. The capacity for this depth of love was always in you, and your experiences were simply the context in which you kept returning to it, kept choosing it, kept refusing to let the disappointments convince you it was not real. It is real. What is coming toward you is real. The love that uplifts and relocates and transforms and stays. That is not a category error in a world like this one. It exists. It is moving. And it is moving specifically in your direction. Stay anchored in the specific, particular, irreplaceable reality of who you are. Do not prepare a smaller version of yourself for a love that was designed to hold the full one. What is coming toward you is large enough, steady enough, and real enough to meet every part of you that you have ever been afraid to fully show. Those are your messages today. The love coming towards you will uplift and relocate you, not as a disruption, but as the natural consequence of meeting something real. The person attached to this energy is doing their own work, moving towards you with intention, carrying no agenda except the one honest one, to build something extraordinary with someone who can match their depth. You are that person for them, and they are yours. Do not chase this. Do not force it forward. Continue to show up as the full, present, unedited version of yourself, the version that has been shaped by everything your life has required and has emerged from all of it, not diminished, but deepened. That is the version this love is coming for, and it is already on its way. Thank you for being here with me today. If this reading landed somewhere real for you, please give it a like. It helps this channel reach the people who need these messages most. Drop a comment below and let me know what resonated. I read everything, and your words genuinely matter to me. Subscribe if you have not, and hit the bell so you never miss a new reading. Until the next one, trust what you feel, trust who you are, and trust that the love built for you has always known how to find you. I will see you soon. Take care of yourselves.